Alright guys, in today's video we are going to be focusing on the Lightfall upcoming season, final preparations that you can do to kick yourself off and give yourself a little bit of a leap ahead. We are down to T-minus roughly 2 days, well, a day and a half anyway. Maybe a day by the time this video goes live. But most people do already know this, but for those of you that don't, there are a few key things that you can do to give yourself a leg up anytime we're getting ready to turn to a new season. And I am starting here at the tower. I'm just doing a quick peek, and this is effectively related entirely to bounties, the preparation. So you can only hold X amount of bounties, but what happens if you complete them? You can hold them on your person and turn them in whenever you like. Of course, you are capped again at the volume that you can hold at a time. So you'll see up here at the tower, all of Banshees are XP plus, not bad, and then he has the repeatables. What you basically are looking to do is find the highest XP bounties that you can. So if you're a PvP player, you will find the same thing to be true over at Lord Shaxx. He will have his 1, 2, 3, 4 XP plus, then the repeatable dailies. And then lastly, I'm going to run over here to Zavala, and you will see that the same thing is true for him. He's got XP plus times 4, then the standard XP repeatable dailies. Now, what I like to do is to go first to the various destination world points. The Cosmodrome is my preferred place to start. I drop over here to the steps, just say launch, and the vendor that is standing right over here, again, you will see a similar pattern, but some specific vendors also have XP plus, so even higher XP, weekly bounties. It is just specific people in game, so that is personally where I like to start. I know that there's always one here at the Cosmodrome, and in general, I will start with whichever vendors have the XP plus. Then, since I'm going to be working towards completing those to hold on to, I will also pick up their XP plus bounties. So, approach, pop in, talk to Savathun. He's got 1, 2 XP pluses, and then XP plus, XP plus, XP plus, XP plus, and then of course he has repeatable. So he's one of the better places to go. You can get 2 of the double plus, plus 4 of the single plus. So all I'm going to do is just pop in real quick, go into my quests, and check out exactly what it is. Public events, heroic give you more credit. That's the standard plus. These are going to be the plus down here on the bottom row. So 25 arc, void, and solar kills, and then complete 3 public events. And of course, it being really close to the start of the new season, you're going to see a lot of people over here doing the exact same thing. So just do your best. And this will be the final public event we need. This should have everything wrapped up, and it took roughly 10 to 15 minutes all in, so it's not bad. It's not bad. And this is the exact same thing we're basically going to do everywhere. I'm going to jump back over. We're going to say destinations. EDZ does not have doubles, so I skip those. I don't recall Nessus or not. Moon does. Though the bounties over here are a little weird because it doesn't actually tell you on them. The weeklies, I don't think it actually says plus, but it is plus. So that's one thing to note. Don't skip the moon. The moon's an important cluster of these. Hello, Eris. Yeah, these up here, you'll notice that it says rewards, but it doesn't say XP plus. Both of these are weeklies that are XP plus. So waves at the altars, that's really easy. I will actually come back to do that and do these when I run back to the tower real quick to pick up some weapon-based bounties. And sure, I'm guessing that there's going to be more people than usual doing the exact same thing. So it may take us a little longer than it would, say, if we were doing this in the middle of the season. But if I had started prepping for this a week or two ago, since I wasn't actively in the middle of playing once I completed the campaign, it would have been fine. So now the final one we have to do over here is the lost sectors, and I've showed this in a previous video, but if somehow you don't know, it's these little kind of rainbow looking icons, and for this one it's going to be the one right over here, it's going to be the one right over here, and then the third and final is, give me just a second to find it, it's not that one. It might be somewhere over here, kind of hidden underneath. Ah, there it is, K1 Com. Okay, and for these lost sectors, all you got to do is complete them and then grab the loot, and then you're done. So you can fast travel to get into a quicker position from there. You don't have to run all the way back out of the lost sector, and indeed, we can prove as much just by looking at that. Okay, and that's the moon bounties wrapped up. Easy, easy. Obviously, as I'm going through here, I'm unlocking different things since it's been a while since I've come back in to play cleanup. But yeah, it's the exact same rules. The next place that I like to go, let's see, Europa, I believe, has some. So we'll head over there. I'm pretty sure there's some at Savathun's Throne World as well. But we'll land over here first. Some, if my memory serves me correctly, of the double XP ones over here can be a little bit tedious. So I'll just double check what they are again. I don't need that, but it's going to make me acquire it. Weekly lost sectors, public events and patrols. Yeah, see, that one can take multiple playthroughs of that, and it's just too big of a time sink for me, so I'll skip that one. This one's not so bad, because if we can get some legendary public events, those count, and some of the patrols are really quick. Defeat Fallen, defeat Vex, using a sword in groups of 2 or more. In lost sectors, that's easy. Complete a heroic public event in Asterian Abyss. I'll skip that one. Not that it's rare for it to pop up, but it's tied to things that are beyond my control to an extent. And one thing I like to do, especially over here on Europa, it's really easy. Sometimes you can get patrols done at the exact same time you're doing a public event. So I could pick this up, for instance, depending on what it is. Okay, that knocks out the quick ones I was going to do on Europa. So next, and this is the exact same process, guys. I mean, I'm just showing you where to grab the ones. I believe Savathun's Throne World, you do get some, but it's been a while since I've been up here. I just want to double check. Nope, no XP plus, so just some straight XP pluses, no double pluses. Yeah, I mean, that won't take too long. I'm going to skip this just for now. I will come back to it. But just know that there's no double XP over at the Throne World. There is at the Dreaming City. Oh, good. Petra's right by the fast travel. She rotates on this map for whatever reason. It's the only vendor that does that. The Ascendant Challenge, these are actually pretty fun, but they're pretty tricky, and you have to find them first. And there's random places it could spawn. So if you're looking for quick, this is not the one to grab. Blind Well, okay, yeah, we'll do those. I'm gonna pop on this. I'll take off the XP boost. It doesn't really matter for my purposes here. Change this to... Nope, sorry, it's this. Resource nodes. I don't believe these chests count as resource nodes. We'll quickly test it. Yeah, material nodes gathered. That's going to be the triangles, not the chests, too. And the reason I put on that detection is obvious. They stick out without you having to constantly pull your ghost out. Alright guys, and again, back at the tower, the one vendor who has bounties that I did not jump over to is the Drifter, and of course he follows the same format as all of the other towers, so he's got 4 XP pluses, then the repeatable dailies. So if you're into Gambit, or you've completed everything else and you still have slots left over for bounties, don't forget about Drifter at the tower. He is another resource for those. So the next place we are going to jump is we are going to check over at Eternity. I believe that if we jump into the treasure hoard, that is the main landing zone area. I know if you haven't done this yet, one is a dungeon. One throws you in this PvE mode that's really fun, by the way. Really great loot you can grab out of it. But this is kind of the main area where you can pick up Xur bounties and Star Horse bounties. And I talked about this a lot, but I haven't shown this on my video yet. I presume most of you probably know about this and have already seen it. But if you have not, we're going to drill into it. So let me get traveled, and I'm going to show you exactly what this is about. Run outside the door. Xur is standing right here, purveyor of strange goods. And if you have yet to find Xur for the weekend purposes in Destiny for getting his bounty for exotic unlocks, this is what he looks like. So that is Xur. He's kind of an interesting looking guy, and this is completely separate from his kind of exotic weekend only quest stuff. Over here, he's got 4, so he functions just like the vendors at the tower, XP plus times 4, and a repeatable. And then the other thing that's interesting about him is Star Horse. Okay, if you approach Star Horse over here, he has completely different bounties. These are all XP pluses. Until you get halfway, then there are 3 XP pluses, and these rotate. So, if you've never tried the Dares of Eternity PvE, it's 6 versus multiple waves, different kind of puzzles. It's very fun. It's very cool. I definitely recommend it. You can get a lot of really good swag and gear out of this, but Xur is definitely one that you want to pop into. What you will notice here, though, is for his bounties, it requires a currency called a strange coin. I have 30. So making sure that what it is that you're picking up is something you feel reasonably confident you can complete is pretty important when you're doing these Xur bounties. And he is the only one in the game that functions like this. But it does require this currency strange coins, which you earn by going through the Dares of Eternity itself. You're going to get those as rewards for completing it. Nessus has another vendor, but there's no XP pluses. We've hit all of the XP pluses. Everybody else is just straight XP plus. So that's the shtick. And you'll notice all of these are saying, hey, check them in. Do not claim them. You're just completing them and leaving them until the new season drops. And consider this an asterisk, multiple exclamation point, like really pay attention to what I'm saying here. There is a known bug when the new season restarts that if as soon as you jump into the new season you go in and start claiming all of these, it's not going to give you the XP credit. The workaround to this, and it's random, it doesn't happen to everybody, but it does happen to some people, and it makes all your prep work and grinding completely lost when the new season drops. Play through the initial starting point missions and play through and pick up the artifact first. As soon as you have the new season's artifact and you have played through the intro mission, then and only then should you jump back into the quest. You'll probably level up once, maybe twice, depending on difficulty when you start the new season. But just remember, do not check these in until after after you have completed the new season's intro missions and you have gotten the new artifact unlock. Assuming that they don't do away with these, I don't think that they're going to. I think they're just tweaking the setup, just like mods are getting a major overhaul. Yes, I know I already have some videos about builds and mods and kind of the shtick behind that, but they're making very, very big changes. If you really want to get fully up to speed, you can check the Bungie site, the TWAB, This Week at Bungie. They have tons of data they put out every week, well, most weeks throughout the season, so we know what's upcoming with Lightfall. There's completely new classes, like we have Solar, we have Void, we have Arc, and we have Stasis. There is another new class dropping into Destiny. I have watched a lot of the gameplay kind of teasers and trailers, and if you, as I, are a Warlock main, the Warlock new class looks super, super strong, guys, especially for PvE. But yeah, I mean, these are just things that I wanted to point out in prep. So you have a lot of options for getting high XP bounties ready to go to load in, but just make sure that you don't check them in until after you start. So that pretty much covers bounties, guys. I obviously have a little bit more to do myself. I think you can hold something like 35, maybe 40. I forget the exact number, but it will roll onto a page to drop down to maybe about here again or here again. I forget the exact number you can hold, but it's pretty plentiful. So that's a resource. Yeah, it can be a little tedious, a little grindy, but if you sit down for a couple light sessions, even in the next 48 hours, you're going to be in a good spot, ready to go when this new season does drop. So that's it, guys. I hope you find this helpful. That's my suggestions for where to grab bounties. Of course, once you fill all of the world resource, the double XP ones out, finish getting those, then you come back to tower and you start grabbing some more Banshee bounties. You start grabbing, maybe you pop into the Crucible, you grab some Shaxx bounties, you run over to Shaxx, you grab some Vanguard bounties, or if you're feeling really sporty, you travel over to see the Drifter and you do some Gambit bounties. But that'll be able to fill you up, so as soon as the new season starts, you get those opening missions done, you check out the new artifact, then you start checking them in, and you get a nice 7 to 15 level bump based upon what the XP is on the given bounties you selected. You'll have space in your vault to hold stuff that you can sort through and test in different types of activities, and you're going to have everything in place that you need to get off on the right foot. Guys, I hope you found this useful, and I expect Lightfall is going to be really, really fun, and maybe I will see some of you out there on the battlefield. Thanks so much for checking in, guys. We will catch you on the next one.